What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday. I am going to try to keep this video somewhat short, I guess. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're going to go over XRP price. We're going to go over Ripple's new document that they released regarding central bank digital currencies, which has quite a bit in it. We're going to go over the OCC head, which is Brian Brooks, comptroller of the currency, new statement on federally issued banking charters for fintechs. And we're just going to get through this. So as a sidebar, if you see any scam ads on this video, please do not participate in that. I meant to get this video out about an hour earlier, but I had to help my 13-year-old with her math test. When we got to the bonus question at the end, I told her just to put NA, and she's on algebra. So instead of putting NA, she put N equals A and submitted it. So interesting to see what kids do. Okay, if you're not aware, we've been watching this extremely closely on this channel. I am definitely not a technical analyst. I am not a financial advisor whatsoever, but markets tend to overreact to news, and we can see something similar with XRP price and the SEC news stating that they were suing Ripple for XRP, quote unquote, potentially being a security, and along with Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, et cetera, et cetera. I have stated before, very much so, that we are watching this base trend line here like hawks. And it's interesting to see that we wicked down below. And what do we see today? We basically rested on this. This is the weekly, by the way. I can go to the daily too. I don't think that we closed the candle below on the daily either. We got really close, but we never did. So I've been watching that base trend line very much so. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. XRP is up like 10% right now, I think, 11%. And we are riding against this base, as we have been, and we're going to continue watching it on this channel. I hope you guys are watching it at home as well. It's very easy to set up. If you want to go on to tradingview.com, you can create a free account. I am not affiliated with TradingView whatsoever. I generally look at logarithmic, and you go to XRP USD. It's the Poloniex chart. You basically just draw your trend lines, you know what I mean, and try to watch this bottom. I don't have to be an analyst to sit here and try to understand what these bottoms are, when these candles close, where these wicks go down to, etc., etc., etc. And I certainly don't day trade. So, all right, moving forward, this is a gigantic day for individuals that are in the digital asset space. And it's more validation that we are 100% right about this space. I am not sitting here saying that this parabolic run will not correct. I'm not sitting here saying that we won't have another bear market at some point in the future, because I believe personally that this bull run is 100% speculative. If you would have asked me in 2017, the very beginning of 2018, after we saw the crash, if we would have seen another completely speculative run, I would have said no. At this point, we would have utility, we'd have regulations, et cetera, et cetera. This is pure speculation, ladies and gentlemen, and that's fine. We can still capitalize on it. I am here for the utility bull run, but we are not there yet. I do not believe that this bull run has anything to do with utility. This has to do with everything fueled by speculative buys, et cetera, et cetera. But we passed $1 trillion market cap. So if I go to, even on the weekly here, you can see the tiny, tiny, tiny little wick. Maybe it doesn't show it up here now. Hold on, let me go to the daily. Yeah, we went up to like $1.02 trillion, which is like ridiculous. The last bull run, depending on where you look at it, depending on where it wicked to, we're sitting like right around, it was like 800 something. It was like 860, I want to say, or like 850. It went. I thought it went up above $800 billion, but we have touched above $1 trillion, and the total market cap for all digital assets. You know, and you look at some of these assets, like you can see, this is very obviously March right here, right? God, like I spent the past year and a half, 2 years, and you guys know that I diversify, but looking at like XRP, etc., just XRP, and I've seen comments on my YouTube video yesterday saying Solomon's bullish or bearish about XRP. If I was bearish about XRP, I wouldn't still be paying attention. I wouldn't be presenting the news. I wouldn't be watching that base trend line. I wouldn't be looking for additional buying opportunities. I am certainly not bearish on XRP. I certainly do understand that this entire space is risky. Anything can happen. But I have always stated about diversification on this channel. You look at this bottom here and you pull up certain assets like ADA. I think ADA Cardano was like a cent at this bottom, and it's 37 cents right now. You imagine putting $1,000 into something that's went up 37x, you have 37 grand. So if you want to sit here and knock me for, talking about other digital assets and other potential opportunities, that is fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever, but I've always spoken about diversification. I will still watch XRP. I still hold XRP, and I do that for a reason. So I am watching this entire market. I'm trying to take a very much so zoomed out approach and paying attention. Now, what we have seen here is that we have exploded. Bitcoin has exploded recently in value. I am curious to see where this goes over the upcoming months here, because if we don't see some sort of a correction like now, I would very much so expect that we see a parabolic move within the next couple of months, and probably some sort of a blow off top to start the next bear market, which I am not looking forward to. But we try to pay attention. We try to capitalize on all this as much as we possibly can. And that's where we're at right now. I mean, if you think that crypto, the entire market cap is going to go from $1 trillion to $5 trillion overnight, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I'm not a financial advisor whatsoever, but these things do tend to correct and go through cycles. We can see it's happened in the past as well. We'll see where it goes, though. All we can do is pay attention. I could be 100% wrong as well. I'm saying that people are wrong for saying this going to $5 trillion and to, however short of an amount of time. But I could be wrong as well. I just know for a fact that these things do correct. Nothing goes straight up. Nothing goes straight down. All right, I wanted to get into this real quick. I did get a little bit into Stellar, not financial advice, XLM on Monday morning. Not necessarily because of the news, but because of how crazy the market is right now. And I knew that news would probably propel it into some sort of a pump, which it did. It went up 100%. So I actually took some profits from that. And I was like seriously having mental anguish this afternoon deciding which coin to go into. I decided to go into the coin that has not pumped whatsoever over the past couple of months, really. And I went into HBAR, which is Hedera Hashgraph, which you guys know that I also support. I've presented on them on Patreon. And also, I've done interviews, an interview with Christian Hasker. I hope to do one with Jordan Fried when I have a little bit more time. And this is from Neatsbucks. And where did he post it here? He posted a link here. Did you see the UPS? UPS, and Delta Airlines logos on the new graphic. And I actually hadn't seen UPS. I think I've heard about Delta before. But if you're not aware of, what HBAR is, how big HBAR potentially is, I mean, all you have to do is look at some of the partnerships. Avery Dennison, Google, Wipro, Zane, UPS. Oh, you mean you can run the gambit here. The Mayo Clinic, Deepak Chopra, DLA Piper. So I have been paying attention to Hashgraph. It has been sitting at 3 cents. It has not been pumping. That is what I chose to put a little bit of money into today. That is not financial advice, but I've been following that project, and it's a long-term hold for me, similar to what XRP is. All right, moving forward. Ripple, this is just recently, this is this afternoon. Posted this: interoperability, neutral bridge assets, and partnerships are key to the long-term success of central bank digital currencies. Download our new report to learn more. Now, they give a brief overview, which I will read through certainly for you all, and then I'll touch base on this actual document also. So if you go into their overview here, the year ahead promises continued acceleration in crypto innovation. Within this, the evolution of central bank digital currencies will play an important role in transforming payments globally and preserving the overall positive trajectory of the sector. Key to this will be how central banks approach interoperability and regulations for these central bank digital currencies. A network of diverse yet interoperable digital fiat currencies will help surmount the current system of today's country-specific walled gardens that impede cross-border payments, global e-commerce, and financial inclusion efforts. Existing conversations about CBDCs have taken on even greater urgency this past year for a number of reasons, including pandemic-related declines in cash usage, the need for more effective ways to distribute government aid to unbanked citizens, and the impending launch of China's digital yuan. These considerations have the potential to drive a faster and more dramatic transformation than might have been possible before. Now, this is this new Ripple report that they came out with, okay? Now, this is multiple pages long here, 13 pages long. But it does provide some insight as to where we're at. I'm not going to read through the entire thing here, but we can see that, a quarter, so 25% of US consumers use cash less often since the pandemic began. And this is just an entire rollout of this entire new digital system, in my opinion. We've seen before that what has happened over the past year has just accelerated, or jump-started what has been going on already with technology, digital currencies, et cetera, et cetera. Now they go into what is a central bank digital currency. They directly or they directly talk about XRP on here. A Cbdc is the sovereign equivalent of private cryptocurrencies and digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Blah, blah, blah. This is interesting to me. 80% of central banks are actively exploring central bank digital currencies. Well, exploring is one thing, but what do you think happens when one central bank rolls it out? Okay. And the testing has been insane with these as well. This testing has went back years. You look at the Bank of England, it was 2016, right? They spent 4 years. Do you think that those announcements, even though that they were in 2016, do you think that the innovation, the development just stops after we stop seeing announcements? Of course not. Certainly not. That innovation, that drive, that goal to still maintain relevancy upon this digital revolution is certainly more prevalent than ever. They understand what's going on in the world right now. They understand that digital payment usage is way higher than it's ever been. They also understand that people are using certain devices way more to pay for things that they need to pay for. And they certainly understand the digital asset revolution and what is happening, and they do not want to become irrelevant. So they are definitely maintaining or trying to maintain some sort of a foothold on the power struggle. So, okay. Main barriers impeding Cbdc success. This goes into interoperability. This goes into across borders and connecting across borders, including non-bank channels. Confirming identity, so that's know your customer, KYC, anti-money laundering, all that stuff plays into that as well. By 2024, at least half of the world's population is expected to use digital wallets for transactions. That will be valued at more than $9 trillion annually. So I know a lot of people have been very much so down about XRP price right now. And then there's multiple assets that, I look at my portfolio sometimes and I have multiple different digital assets. It's like, man, why didn't I get into that? Or man, why didn't I put more into this? Or man, maybe I should have sold that and gotten into this. And, those decisions do get made very much so by me as an individual. But we all make those decisions as individuals in this space. We are never going to 1000% be satisfied unless we are on a boat sitting somewhere financially free and rich. And I will tell you what, I posted this on the Twitter Patreon chat that I have today. And this is what I truly believe. And I don't care. I believe that we're extremely early still. I believe that this is crazy and a speculative bull run still right now. I don't believe that this has anything really to do with utility, which means to me that I'm going to be able to capitalize on this bull run, and I'm going to be able to capitalize on the next bull run, and I'm going to be able to capitalize on the next bull run because we've seen the initiatives globally. 2025, they've got initiatives. I certainly believe that we're probably about ready to begin another bull run by 2024 after this one comes to a close at some point this year. If I'm right about that, I might not be. Maybe it goes on forever. Who knows? Maybe we go to X amount of dollar values, this year. And I certainly believe there'll be another one because I've seen these green initiatives through these major players that align with 2030. I've seen these major initiatives. I've seen ISO 20022, the full rollout by 2025. It's across the board here what's going on. It's very easy to see what's going on. And I am here for the utility money, make no mistake about it. But I will capitalize on the speculative money as well, if I can. If I get lucky, because really it has a lot to do with luck and just paying attention on a daily basis, right now at least. Paying attention is more important than anything, though. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Acting Comptroller of the Currency issues statement on CFPB Task Force study regarding federal fintech charters, essentially stating that the OCC supersedes regulation and would basically be the main regulator of these federally gifted fintech charters. So essentially, if you're not aware what this is, I did a video for SPQR about this probably right when I thought about starting in YouTube stuff. Either like the very beginning of 2020 or like very late 2019. I can't remember. I think it was the very beginning of 2020. No, It was very late 2019. It was like October or November or something like that, I think. And they have been trying to roll this out for a while. Before it got kicked back and before Brian Brooks came into the OCC, this entire thing was already trying to be rolled out. And it removes fintechs, non-depository institutions from being regulated by states and essentially brings them up to the federal level, and they're regulated directly by the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So it is interesting to me that the Brian Brooks, the head of the OCC, who just came over from Coinbase, is rolling out all of these different initiatives, is trying to kickstart this initiative again. And this is not the first thing that we've seen Brian Brooks try to do with these federal fintech charters. These news announcements have been rolling out in little bits and pieces, piecemealed across the board here. They're trying to stitch together some sort of regulation. Because make no mistake about it, this certainly deals with blockchain, this certainly deals with digital assets and the end game. And they're trying to maintain some sort of relevancy. The United States has to. And I think we all know what happens when utility kicks in. When we have clear regulation, digital assets are going to swallow most legacy financial asset classes, if not all. And if they don't swallow them, they will certainly interoperate with them and provide more liquidity, speed, and utility. So real quick, just to end this, this is the CFB, and this is Brian Brooks' comments. The thoughtful report by the task force created by the CFPB concludes that the nation needs federal charters for fintechs to effectively, efficiently, and safely serve the financial needs of consumers across the nation under a single uniform set of rules. We absolutely agree with that conclusion. Under the current law, the agency that grants national charters to companies engaged in lending, payments, or deposit taking is the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, which has the responsibility for prudential supervision to ensure these chartered institutions operate in a safe, sound, and fair manner. In its wisdom, Congress in the Dodd-Frank Act separated chartering and prudential supervision from consumer protection enforcement, assigning chartering authority to the OCC and specific consumer protection enforcement authority to the CFPB. The additional protections implemented following the last financial crisis put two cops on the beat and separated those responsibilities so neither would be compromised in service to the other. Now, I am not going to sit here and tell you that this completely obsoletes what the SEC has going on with Ripple. But what I am going to sit here and tell you is that it's very clear, at least to me, that Brian Brooks has a very sound head on his shoulders. He's trying to get rid of some of this BS and hopefully clear up some things, because I very much so believe that this federal fintech charter has a lot to do with some of the big fintechs in blockchain and digital assets that you and I both care about. And I would like to see where this goes and how this all gets rolled out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I am not a financial advisor. If you see any scam ads on this video, please do not participate in that. We will be paying attention to the news. And I hope you guys all stay safe out there, all right? I will talk to you if news presents itself tomorrow. And thank you all for watching. Later.